Hey friends, welcome into another edition of 4 Minutes on Friday. Today, wanted to kind of talk about something that I've been reading about. Springtide Research every year does an extensive bit of research with young people that they designate between ages 13 and 25. And they release those findings, and every year they put out for 2020. It was called Navigating Uncertainty, the State of Religion in Young People. You can find this on their website. You can order a hard copy through Amazon, or you can download a free PDF version. And I'll put a link in the description if that kind of thing interests you. So I've been kind of reading through that book, or that booklet. I guess it's not like a full-blown book, but it is a very, for me, a very interesting thing. It's just a lot of findings from how young people were navigating the pandemic, their relationship to religious institutions across the board, and some of their feelings about religious institutions and their connection to God and the people of God. So one of the things that I found very interesting is there is this. I don't know that they put it in these terms, but there is this steady erosion of relationships within, I guess I would call it relational erosion of the church, with those that are outside of the church, or those who are fringe connected to the church, but not deeply invested yet. There is just a relational erosion that is happening there. Now, I would dare say that this is probably something that happens with every generation. As a generation moves from teenager to adulthood, there is going to be a shift. There's going to be a reevaluation of what your life looks like as you move from a teenager into young adulthood. And so there's always going to be a little bit of a disconnect from young people into young adults with the local church. I think that's a natural progression of things. The part that bothered me so much in reading this is that, and not just reading this, but in several other things that I'm reading, conversations that I'm listening to and having, is that the church largely has not only been complicit, but been an active participant in eroding that relationship. And it happens largely because the church has become this homogenous, very narrow group of individuals that vote alike, dress alike, look alike, live in similar neighborhoods. There isn't much diversity. I heard something that was said. I probably heard this easily more than a decade ago, and it was probably said a decade before that. So this is not a new statement. And I don't remember who originally said this, or even who I originally heard it from. But they said this, that the Sunday morning is the most segregated hour of the week. And that might be from Billy Graham times that was said. So I don't think that has gone away. I think that continues to remain a significant issue in American church culture, that we continue to divide ourselves. And we continue to separate ourselves. Now, I think the biggest problem, the thing that shows up in this research, is the way that, I guess for lack of a better term, the way that church folks talk about those that are not like them has poured into the relational erosion of those that are not like them. Meaning, the way we speak to and about other people is not representative of Christ at all. It is more representative of a political faction that we are a part of, a political group that we are akin to vote with. And I think that is a huge, huge problem. I was just talking with somebody last night, and we were just talking about how the message of Christ and the kingdom of God has gotten completely put on the back burner, if it's even on the stove at all. Because church gatherings and people who call themselves church folks are more interested in the politics of the day than they are of the kingdom of God. And I don't say that flippantly, and I don't even say that accusingly. I say that as an insider, one who's been a part of church my whole life. And the problem that exists is significant. Very simply put, how you now, if you're not a Christ follower, you don't, I mean, this may not even be all that important. You may have already stopped listening for all I know. But if you're a Christ follower, this is extraordinarily important. How you talk to and about other people, even people who are, I would dare say, especially people who are different than you, that matters almost more than what you are saying. Because if you're saying things in a way that shuts people off and pushes people away, you have defeated yourself before you've begun. So be aware of these things, lean into these things, and be someone who thoughtfully monitors how you speak to and about other people. All right, we'll see you next week.